We start the day's other headlines overseas. China welcomed leaders of some of its closest allies to an annual security summit today. Member states of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, or SCO for short, presented a show of unity aimed at offering a counterbalance to America's role in global affairs. Russian President Vladimir Putin and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi were all smiles and even held hands as they were welcomed by China's President Xi Jinping. In his remarks, Xi called on countries to reject Cold War thinking and laid out his vision for an expanded SCO.
At present, the international landscape is marked by intertwined changes and turbulence. China is willing to work with all parties to take this meeting as an opportunity to jointly promote the SCO in entering a new stage of high-quality development and high-level cooperation.
Xi announced plans to speed up the creation of a development bank run by the SCO and pledged more than $1 billion in loans. China also invited most of the leaders to stay through Wednesday for a massive military parade to mark 80 years since Japan's surrender in World War II. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is also due to attend. The European Commission is blaming Russia for jamming the GPS signal of the Commission president's plane. The flight carrying Ursula von der Leyen was on approach to a city in southern Bulgaria yesterday when the incident occurred. Authorities say the pilot and air traffic control were eventually able to land safely using backup navigation aids. Von der Leyen is an outspoken critic of Russia's president and the war in Ukraine. The flight was part of a 4-day tour of EU nations that border Russia, which continued today. Russia has not commented on the incident. In Gaza, health officials say Israeli strikes killed at least 31 people today across the territory as Israel's military pushed on with its plan to seize Gaza City. Blasts have echoed across the area since it was declared a combat zone last week. Today, Palestinians in northern parts of the city packed up and fled after Israel ordered them to move south. Many Gazans say they're now facing violence and hunger at the same time.
I want to find a place where I can stay with my sons and daughters. I don't know where to go. Moving out requires money. I can't even find something to eat. It's been 2 months without food. I don't know where to go.
Meantime, the world's largest professional organization of scholars who study genocide said today that Israel's actions in Gaza fit the legal definition of genocide. Israel strongly rejects the accusation. Here at home, the Labor Day holiday saw unions and other groups holding what they called workers over billionaires protests in cities across the country.
Billionaires have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Billionaires have got to go!
The outcry was especially vocal in Chicago, where President Trump has threatened to send in National Guard troops and federal agents to crack down on crime. Organizers aim to have protests take place in every U.S. state, roughly 1,000 gatherings in total. At one event in Chicago, union leaders spoke out against policies that favor corporate greed and the consolidation of power.
Whether it's Tesla or Target or Valor, what has happened in this country is that the billionaires don't understand that this country was created in protest and in resistance to fight off a king, not to recreate a king.
Ahead of the protests, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt defended the president's record on labor, saying, quote, "We finally have a president who fights and delivers for the American worker every single day." President Trump says he'll award Rudy Giuliani the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor. On social media, Mr. Trump called him the greatest mayor in the history of New York City and an equally great American patriot. The president's announcement comes just 2 days after Giuliani was badly injured in a car accident in New Hampshire. He suffered a fractured vertebra and other injuries. Giuliani was once considered America's mayor, but more recently was disbarred and faced criminal charges related to his actions following Mr. Trump's 2020 election loss. Wall Street was closed today for the Labor Day holiday, but it was a big day for the crypto market with the launch of the Trump family's digital token. Traders could buy and trade some of the cryptocurrency issued by World Liberty Financial, which was co-founded by Trump's sons, Eric and Don Jr., among others. Eric promoted the token as recently as Friday at a Bitcoin conference in Hong Kong. Today's launch reportedly means a windfall of billions of dollars for the family. The White House has often denied any conflict of interest for the president. And longtime White House correspondent Mark Knoller has died. Over a 5-decade career spent mostly with CBS, he covered multiple presidents and was regarded for his encyclopedic knowledge of the presidency. He gladly and generously shared that wisdom with fellow journalists, myself included, and even White House officials when they came asking. CBS called him the hardest working and most prolific White House correspondent of a generation. A cause of death was not disclosed, but Knoller had reportedly suffered from diabetes and was in poor health. Mark Knoller was 73 years old. Still to come on the NewsHour, Tamara Keith and Amy Walter break down the latest political headlines. Actor David Duchovny discusses how his life and career influenced a new book of poems. And 50 years after Jaws, the science that's dispelling some long-held myths.
This is the PBS NewsHour from the David M. Rubenstein studio at WETA in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.